Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video. And in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Mercado versus Lecca fight. And so if you're new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So going into this fight, Mercado is 22-3 with 5 KOs, and Lecca is 16-7-2 with 3 KOs. This fight is for the WBC World Super Bantamweight title. Mercado's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Cuesta, and Lecca's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Alvarado. This is in Mercado's home country of Mexico. Mercado is 26 and Lecca is 35, and Lecca's been pro since 2010. Mercado's losses have come versus Serrano in 2021, Zarica in 2018 and Munoz in 2017, and Lecca's losses have come versus Nicholson in 2023, Chapman in 2023, Asenio in 2022, Amesha in 2018, Ramirez in 2018, Bermudez in 2014, and Nunez in 2011. So, to speak a bit more about what I've just said, obviously there's been a lot of more recent defeats for Lecca, and in my opinion, I don't necessarily see an entire reason as to why this fight's happening and a purpose for why this fight's happening. Mercado was rumoured to fight against Chapman. I didn't never really think it was going to happen because I feel like Mercado is settled at this super bantamweight, which I have complete respect for, but I don't know if this is just like really the next best option or not for a fight. I feel like she could have possibly gotten a bigger, better fight or something like that, but I don't know. This is an intriguing one to an extent, but obviously they both suffered defeats, but Lecca's have been much more recent and have been against much lesser opponents really, and not really world champions, and consistently losing. Obviously Nicholson's a world champion now and Chapman probably will be soon, and so they're tough opposition, but I don't know, I just don't see a purpose for now that Lecca to actually go and fight for a world title just because she's moving down in weight again. I don't entirely know for sure why it's happening. Of course, Lecca is a former champion in her own right. She, I believe, was the super flyweight champion. Might be wrong. It was a little while ago now, and she's fought at multiple different weights and boxed multiple different times for world championships, and hasn't typically come unstuck when, come stuck when she's gone up against a world champion level opponent. And now she's fighting Mercado, who obviously has been fighting to an extent relatively consistently, but when you look at the level of opposition she's been fighting since defending this world title, there's not anything too crazy. And so hopefully, leading on from this, if Mercado does end up getting a win, we can then hopefully see big fights in the division for her, because I feel like it only realistically makes sense. Obviously they're both coming off unanimous decision wins. They're both returning back to winning ways. That for Lecca especially, returning back to winning ways, and it's nothing too crazy of a level of opposition. But we've got this fight, and I suppose to speak about them both as fighters, Mercado, she can fight on the front or the back foot. She moves in and out quite well with her attacking style. She's got good timing, fast hands, solid reactions. I'm a fan of her reactions when she does put them together. She can pick a singular shot off very nicely when she does see any kind of openings. She can let her hands go. She doesn't always, but she can, and when she does, it looks nice. Or at times, it looks nice. She can fight a middle in close. She picks her shots relatively well when she wants to. She counters. She's got a long, establishing jab, and a relatively solid fighter, and seemingly got a decent sense of balance in the process as well, and relatively well conditioned in the process. Obviously, she's been used to fighting now these world championship level fights and going the full distance in the process as well. Negatives about her: perhaps she's overlooking Lecca. It would not realistically surprise me at all when you look at Lecca's recent performances if you would be overlooking her or not. She can arm punch a little bit at points. Fully committing to her shots, I don't feel like she does enough. She doesn't, in my opinion, punish opponents. Like I say, she's got them really quick, sharp reactions, but actually punishing opponents when she sees the openings, I don't always think she necessarily does. She can stand straight on when she wants to stand and trade, and sometimes can force that kind of standing and trading type style, which I don't think suits her at all. Her chin can be in the air, her head can be on the line. She can rush in with her work, and that's when it becomes a little bit messy when she does lunging or rushing with her work. Shortening her shots, I think a lot of the time she tries to push long shots through, which isn't always bad, but she could, turn more with her hips or swivel a little bit more, and keep it a little bit closer to her shots, and then it could cause more damage from doing that. And that's just something I picked up on. She drops her hands quite regularly, and in general she has got quite a weak defensive guard. But to speak about Lecca as a fighter, she's got a relatively tight guard. She's kind of got that experience level type style where she knows that she probably is going to get hit at points, and so she just knows how to deal with that with having a tight guard. She circles around the ring. She is an awkward customer to deal with. She's got that solid head movement, and so it is difficult to land clean shots on her. She's composed. She's especially early. She's always moving. She makes you hesitant because of that awkward style and that head movement, and so that, I mean, that's probably the thing that could make this the toughest of challenges for Mercado in Lecca as an opponent, is just the fact of she is very awkward, and she, like I mentioned, is hard to land clean on. And if Mercado is somebody who, like I mentioned, doesn't fully commit to her shots, we'll have to wait and see if she's able to actually cause any damage upon Lecca. She changes levels relatively nicely, Lecca. She's confident in her movement. She can box comfortably on the back foot and be composed. She's got solid stamina as well, but she can also pounce in her attacking style when she wants, and it's not always accurate, and it's quite lunging in, and it can be quite wild, but it can catch fighters off guard just from that pouncing type style as well, when you're so used to just being able to be invited on by a defensive style to all of a sudden have to deal with somebody pouncing at you. It offers another challenge. The negatives about her: she's pretty much lost at most big step ups. Obviously, like I said, she used to be a world champion, but that was a while ago, and she did lose that belt relatively quickly, and so she has seemingly lost at most step ups in opponents. Finding her range is something which I really think she struggled with. She pretty much didn't land any shots on Nicholson when Nicholson was just boxing at range the whole time. She is willing to pretty much just go straight away onto the back foot, and when judges are seeing just a fight to go straight onto the back foot and not be able to find the range, it's two things that you don't really think go well together. She's a relatively slow starter. She's not overly fast either. She can be kept at a range. She doesn't let her hands go too much. She's not really overly attacking in general. She can be completely outscored and outboxed. She's got them quite wild hooks. Counters can be quite reckless at points as well. Her timing isn't anything impressive. Getting her opponents actually physically off her. She moves well, but actually being able to get her opponents off her is something which I don't think she does quite well. And like I mentioned, lunging in the process as well. Mercado is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Mercado will win via unanimous decision. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be anything of a really tough test for Mercado. I'm still really wanting to see how she deals with a tough test, but nonetheless she has to get through Lecca here, and of course you can't overlook her as an opponent, and like I've been mentioning, there are awkward elements about her style, Lecca, but nonetheless I think that Mercado will be able to, just pick her shots if she wants to, and just be able to box to a comfortable win and not have to do anything too crazy. And then who she could go on to fight, hopefully it's just a world champion. That's pretty much all I wanted to see her fight next, the likes of the winner of Cruz vs Romero for the WBA title, Motu, IBO champion, Scotney, IBF and WBO champion. I just want to see her fight a world champion. I think she's defended that WBC belt enough now, and it's about time that she actually goes and fights for another world championship. Or Alefe Burr as an opponent could be an alright fight as well. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. Like video if you didn't, do like this, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.